Hey guys. Today I've decided to make a really bad deck. So, this combo, probably not even remotely reasonable to do, unless you open the exact hand you need. But, essentially, what I want for today is to just be able to resolve Chaos Emperor, Dragon Envoy of the end on the first turn. And you guys might be thinking, well, read the card, and yeah, I know. You cannot activate other cards or effects during the turn you activate this card's effect. So that means we have to essentially just summon Chaos Emperor, Dragon Envoy of the End, and then resolve its effect and activate no other effects. That includes before and after this effect. And is this possible? Yes, it is somehow possible. So the simple way to do this is simply to use just inherent summons. And if we use inherent summons, we're fine. So, let's see. Cannot be normal summoned slash set. Must be special summoned from your hand by bashing a light and a dark monster from your graveyard. And then we can loop everything, and then reduce the game into essentially a top deck war. So, all we have to do is open Chaos Emperor Dragon Envoy of the End essentially, and then, without activating any card effects, we need to send a light and a dark monster into our graveyard. So this, I would say, not my favorite thing in the world to do, but we can probably still manage some things here. So notably, everything we activate will go, everything will go into the graveyard. So if we were to, for example, just have, we'll say transaction rollback, for example, in the graveyard, this will just be in the graveyard for next turn and we can activate this freely if we resolve Chaos Emperor, Dragon Envoy of the End. So that is just going to be a thing. Is it going to necessarily be the best thing to do? I mean, maybe, maybe not. We'll see. But we need to banish a light and a dark. So we'll start there. So banishing either a light or a dark, if it was just one or the other, this is easily accomplishable. So let's see. Well, let's pretend for a second that Millis Radiant here is a dark monster, right? So if it were, we can just simply link it off for Almirage because it's small enough, and that would be like normal summon, link off, and that is how many effects activated? 0. So that's one way for us to do this. The other way is to use inherent summons. So if we use Dark Grepher, we can just immediately send a guy, and this does not even start a chain, so it should not count as activating an effect. So let's say our hand is going to be, I don't know, let's just, for the sake of this example, let's grab, I don't know, just a really relatively weak light monster. So let's say our hand is going to be Diviner of the Herald plus Dark Grepher plus 2 copies of Chaos Emperor Dragon. We can special summon the Dark Grepher here, and then we can special summon Chaos Emperor Dragon Envoy of the End by bashing the Dark Grepher and Diviner of the Herald. And we do this by linking off Diviner and Dark Grepher with our just anything. We can make SP here if we wanted. But I mean, preferably it would probably be a link to that does something in the graveyard if possible. But I mean, I don't think there is anything that exists that does this. And does this also send itself? Send as many cards as possible to the graveyard, then inflict 300 for each card sent to the opponent's graveyard by this effect. Okay. So, not that insane yet, but okay. This would just work, and we also then have, I believe, this as an option. I think, right? One non-link monster in an extra monster zone. No, it shouldn't be this, right? So, let's see, Celine? I think, right? No, Artemis. then I believe there is probably a link one that can link off Artemis, right? Uh, or is there not? I may be just losing my marbles, right? So let's see. Link 1. Is there anything that can just put, haha, here we go. Cyber's Link Monster. I mean, yeah. I knew there was something like this. I mean, it doesn't get us all the way there, but... Okay, so... Here is a 1 card that we can use to essentially put Chaos Emperor, Dragon, Envoy of the End into the graveyard. So, all we need here, specifically, is to run just any light monster. We need a light monster specifically. And the condition we need for this light monster is that it must be level 1. That's it. So, if we have Majestic Dragon, for example, now all we need to do is to do this. And this is a 2-card way to essentially, well, I guess we should undo this. So we can link this Majestic Dragon off with Link Rebo, and then we have Link Rebo and Majestic Dragon, which are light and dark, and then we link off the Link Rebo with Secure Gardena, and then that will put the Link Rebo in the graveyard. And then this will allow us to have a light and dark monster in the graveyard. And all without activating a single effect. So 2-card combo essentially to allow ourselves to summon Chaos Emperor, Dragon, Envoy of the End. Now, the main thing we want after this, that this is about as efficient as we can really get it. I can't think of it getting too much more efficient. We want cards that we can activate probably in the graveyard on our opponent's turn, and then we'll be fine, right? To do something with. So, I guess for the time being, we should look, see if there are any light monsters that will help us. But I mean, I highly doubt it, considering we're under such heavy restrictions. So, number 1, we cannot activate their effects on the first turn at all. Otherwise, we cannot activate the effect of Chaos Emperor, Dragon, Envoy of the End. Then, it also needs to be a level 1 light monster, which is just rough. So, does this do anything? Well, this card is target for attack, blah blah blah. Target 1 card in your graveyard. Banish both this card and 1 card from your hand. Then place that target on top of the deck. Wait, what? Banish both this card and 1 card from your hand, then place that target on top of the deck. Yeah, we can't activate that, so that doesn't do anything. I guess 5 Rainbow has, like, an effect, but it doesn't go to the graveyard, so that doesn't really do anything for us. We have Moki Moki Adrift. Let's see how that helps us. We have Pearly. That doesn't help either. Magician of Faith. Sylvan Princess Sprout. Buster Whelp of the Destruction. Swordsman. Does this have a graveyard effect? Yeah. We just need to look for something with a graveyard effect, realistically. Let's see, this has a graveyard effect. That doesn't do anything here, though. We have Low. I guess Low might do something if we Ritual Summon. As unlikely as that will be, so... That's something, I guess. We can also technically set spells or traps, but we can't activate their effects, nor can we keep them on the field, because Chaos Emperor is going to send them. So that won't do anything. If we link this off, this goes to our extra deck. So let's see. Cannot be normal summon / set. Must be special summon from your face-up extra deck. So you cannot special summon Dreaming Nimlaria, and we cannot normal summon it, so we can't do anything with this. Okay. If this card is sent to the graveyard, it does nothing for us because we can't activate it. During the end phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was sent there this turn, oh, it won't be. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 blue eyes monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. We could technically activate that whenever, but how will a vanilla monster help us out here? I don't think it will. You banish this card from your graveyard. Special summon a Time Lord monster with 0 attack from your deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. You cannot special summon other monsters during the turn you activate this effect. Actually useful, right? We can just do this whenever, on whatever turn. And then, how do Time Lords work exactly? If you control no monsters, at the end of the battle phase, if this card battled, once returned during your standby phase, shuffle this card into the deck. Any of these guys not shuffle back into deck? I do not think so. So I don't see anything super good here, I guess, right? Cephalon. What do you do? Must be special summoned. Does this ignore summoning condition? It does. So we could summon this, and what does this do? Must be special summoned from your hand. By having 10 or more monsters in your graveyard, once per turn, you can special summon one level 8 or higher fairy monster from your hand or graveyard. But its effects are negated. Also, its attack becomes for 1,000. I don't even know if this is like legally summonable or not off of Time Maiden, and I don't really care enough to find out. So, well, we'll just pretend we don't see nothing. So, all right. What else can we do here? So all these guys are lights that have effects, but these guys cannot be normal summoned / set, so we would have to, well, we would have to special summon them, and the only way to do that is by card effect, so that's not, like, reasonable to do. Thunder Dragon Matrix. It's not that bad, but it's not really great here. So far we're seeing, like, essentially nothing useful. So, in conclusion, we can play pretty much whatever light monsters we want, or as long as they're level 1. They realistically won't be doing anything as far as I can tell. I haven't read through like every single one, but I highly doubt these guys will do anything for us. And this is mandatory, right? Yes. When this card is normal summon, you can target one level 1 light monster in your graveyard, special summon that target. I guess we could just throw in some funnier cards. So if it just has to be light, we can play something reasonable at least. We can still activate the effect failure on, I guess, our opponent's turn, you know? So, that's cool. AD Changer is also a light, which is, I mean, fun, I guess. This has a graveyard effect. Oh, this didn't show up earlier because this says graveyard instead of, like, GY. Like some of these other cards, like this Time Lord probably says GY, right? Instead of graveyard? Yeah. And if we were to do this, I really have no idea what we would be special summoning. I don't know what this realistically accomplishes. And then we have to actually run this in our deck, and that's not exactly great. So this is probably enough. And then we can go grab maybe a Saphira or something. If we have Saphira, and we're trying to ritual summon something, we would have to somehow be able to do the ritual summon next turn. So I think we still have to top deck something. So I don't think like low is good. I think low is actually worse than Time Maiden here, for our purposes. But I guess we'll throw in like 3 copies of Time Maiden, and then we'll just hope that this is legal and it just works. Because if it doesn't, we're just cooked, essentially, at this point. And this will return cards on the field, right? Return them to the hand. That's probably not that useful, honestly. I don't think any of these guys are that useful. return back row, I guess. We can go for that, sure. Aside from that, I don't think I care about any of these guys anymore. But we'll go with some zombie cards now, I guess, because they might work out somewhat. So I guess what we don't need is we don't need Called By or uh, Ash Blossom because we will summon a few times, but we can't activate or do anything about like a Max E here because we can't activate effects aside from like our Envoy of the End. So that's kind of pain, but it will do. And we'll just grab 33 copies of Zombie World for the time being and 3 copies of Banshee, and then we'll grab copies of Doom King, Ballad Rock. So hopefully this works out. I mean, if we have Banshee plus Doom King in the graveyard, that will allow us to summon Doom King the next turn, and we can also activate Banshee the next turn to activate Zombie World, so that would be one of the few legal plays we have, assuming we have like a 4-card hand pretty much at this point. So that's something we kind of just have to hope works out, I suppose. Not the best thing, but it is a thing of all time. Well, what else do we have? I guess we have rollback, and then we can grab some traps. So it should be no problem to play Imperm, because we can still Imperm, assuming we're going second. Is this deck going to be Garbanzo Beans? Yes, without a doubt. And then, I mean, I guess we can grab, like, Dharma Karmakana, I guess. And then, like, some Paleos, maybe? Not entirely the worst thing in the world. Because we just won't be activating these, for the most part. And, like, a couple of copies of Dynamiscus, and then we can adjust the extra deck accordingly, I suppose. And then Marilla, we can throw in copies of this. And then, I guess, because these guys, do they still count as spells and traps? Let's see. This card is not treated as a trap. Oh, okay. So, I don't know, throw in like an Eldlick or something. Maybe some Scarlet Sanguines. And like, Bonks. Or do we still need more low-level light monsters? I think we might, honestly. So I guess we'll just grab some lows, because low is kind of annoying to find, actually. Alright, let's throw in some more Majestics, and it'll for sure work itself out, I believe. It will simply work itself out. And then you can just throw in like whatever extra deck you want, I guess. And these guys can trigger during the end phase, doesn't matter which end phase. This is just ignition. But we can activate that like next turn, technically. So maybe trying to do some Eldlick-y things is worth it for this kind of build. But okay. Well, let's see if we get the combo. And it's combo. So we have AD Changer, Time Maiden. I mean, AD Changer is probably not the best card here, but I mean, I just remembered this was a level 1 light, so that's why it's here, I guess. So we can link this off. Unfortunate, we have to send Zombie World. And then we have nothing and we're just top decking, hoping for the best. Yeah. And that's kind of how this will go, right? If our opponent just gets a really disgusting 1-card combo, we're still kind of cooked. We're only hand looping our opponent, but you know what? This is a meme combo, and well, the restrictions are so hefty that there's no way you can realistically do anything meaningful on the first turn, I don't think. I mean, the best option is to just send a strange 2-card combo from your hand to the graveyard that just can be activated. So something like Rollback Dharma or like Doom King Banshee. That's about as good as it gets. There is nothing that we can do really. I don't think. Yeah. So the idea behind this. Yeah, I'd say it's not like amazing, but I think it's interesting that you can just summon this still, turn one, and just resolve it. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.